We are Karl and Katty. Together, we are Nowhere Bound Touring.
We've been adventuring for over 3 years now around Australia.
In our truck and our caravan. Sharing our full-time life on the road, we take you to some interesting and unique locations, along with sharing tips and tricks of how to make caravan life that little bit easier.
Good morning everyone. We are at Tangaloom Point on Moreton Island and it's day one of our Moreton Island adventure.
And today we're going to head down to the most southern point and around that have a look at a wreck on the way, and around the other side to Rouse Battery, where there's some old World War II bunkers that we're going to check out. Hopefully we get bogged one less time than yesterday.
It was a lot yesterday.
So that'll be great. About 10 or so kilometres further south than the Tangalooma wrecks are these two wrecks. There's not much left of them. I'm not even sure what their names are, but here they are. We're just checking them out. Interesting.
I don't think we fit, and it's going to get worse there. That's why everyone's turned around. Karl's getting us in a pickle. Oh! I hope that wasn't the CV. And just crunched. It was the left side. That's what I was recording.
I didn't realise I had one such hard lock. CV. Man. I'm going to get back on that beach.
Yeah. So if you come down to the bottom, be aware that not everyone can get through here. It's very skinny. Very skinny.
All I can think is it's definitely from the CV, the crunch.
I'm pretty sure that's what I heard, yeah.
Was it hard lock? Not really.
Not quite, but it was pretty, yeah.
Yeah.
It was near, yeah.
Gonna unlock this hub.
Yeah.
Put the diff lock in.
Yeah.
And try and drive in 3-wheel drive.
Okay. I didn't know you could do that.
Right?
I didn't know you could do that.
Might be good for it, but crunch up the CV bag.
It sounded like it crunched itself anyway.
It becomes here. I'll just try and go.
Yep.
Wow, that's unfortunate.
Sure is.
How can it break so easy? Backing back again.
Yeah. And they just looked at that and, well, not looked at it, but checked it when they did the diff, yeah?
They said they checked it. I'll ring them.
Yeah. We were hoping to come to the gutter bar under better circumstances, but anyway, we're here and just hopefully gonna work out some help.
Stuck at the pub. Could be worse places to be stuck.
But if you find out what's wrong with it,
Yep.
come and let us know and we'll work a plan from there. Yeah.
So I think if I go around to the SCS around there and just ask them whether I can. It would be nicer to do it on
concrete.
yeah, not in the sand,
Yeah.
ideally.
Yeah.
So we've just pulled up here at the SOS, the SOS, the emergency centre for the island. Karl's just airing up, and then try and work out what's broken. But we're pretty positive it's the CV. We'll see how we go. We might be camped here for a few days.
Can't believe it, hey? I'm adjusting those bolts this time.
Yeah.
It just means it doesn't turn so sharp.
Yep.
They're flat, hey? Look at that.
Yeah.
As you may be able to tell, what I'm trying to do is diagnose exactly what's broken on the truck. I'm doing this by first of all jacking up the front so both wheels are off the ground, and then either locking and unlocking the hubs, locking the diff lock, unlocking the diff lock, and by that I'm trying to work out exactly what side's broken. For instance, if the diff lock is locked and the hub is locked on either side and the handbrake's on, you can't theoretically turn any wheel because it should be lock solid. I did have a little bit of an issue with the diff lock because I'm not used to an electronic locker, so it behaves a little bit different to a solid air locker, which is when you operate it, it's permanently locked straight away. With the electronic locker, it has got about at least a quarter of the turn of the wheel before it locks.
Sounds like it's in the diff, but I couldn't steer. If the diff's broken, that won't affect steering.
When you go the other way, it can also have a quarter of a turn in the other direction, and it unlocks and then relocks. So it made it a little bit more difficult for me to understand what was happening, just because I wasn't super familiar with an electronic diff lock. So once I understood that, then I was on my way and I could confirm exactly what was happening, which basically was, no matter what I did, the passenger side wheel could just turn because the axle was broken obviously, and driver's side wheel, the tail shaft and the diff performed how I would expect, which is can't turn and so on when you're trying to turn it under those situations. From that I worked out for sure that there was something wrong with the passenger side, and it wasn't the diff and it wasn't the driver's side, which is exactly what we thought at the start. It was the passenger CV that I believe was broken, hence I'm going to pull apart the passenger side. I just really wanted to make 100% sure that it really was the passenger side and not something else funnily that's happening with the diff, because I had a brand new diff installed 3 days ago. Really wanted to rule that out 100% before I started ripping things apart. Just so you know, I've never pulled this truck apart before, but I am fairly certain that it's the same as any solid axle four-wheel drive, as in the construction is roughly the same as a Land Cruiser or Nissan. When I pull it apart, I roughly know what to expect already, because I've pulled a Nissan apart plenty of times.
Oh, this wasn't engaging. Yeah, it's that one, definitely. Okay. Now we know what side to pull off at least.
That's a good start.
Let's have a look at this again. I'm 100% sure. It's just I'm not used to an electronic diff locker.
Yeah, because we've only just got it.
So it operates a little bit different.
Right.
It takes a little bit for it to engage. Can you push the diff lock button, please?
Sure.
Yep, now push it again, thank you.
Sure.
Yep.
Just so you understand that we selected the
NPS over other models of truck because its driveline is relatively simple and basic with nothing particularly funny about it, because I have the ability to fix it. It's simple mechanics, which means that you can do a lot of bush repairs that you may not be able to do with other different or more complicated vehicles. Most of the components on the truck are about 1.5 to 2 times the size on a Nissan Patrol, a GU or a GQ. So it didn't take a lot of effort for me to get used to working on the truck. I needed bigger tools, which I bought, and a little bit more horsepower to do up the nuts. But apart from that, everything else is basically the same. It is almost a little bit easier, apart from the weight of some things, because it's not so fiddly. I am fairly confident that the installation of the Diff Lock, as in the Diff Lock itself, didn't really have much of a bearing on the CV braking, and also that the installation, the physical installation of the Diff Lock was correct with everything else. So whether we had the Diff Lock or not, I think that the CV would have broken in that same situation regardless, which now I believe is because of the steering lock and just the torque put through the poor little CV when it's on such an angle. In hindsight, Isuzu should have made a better or stronger CV for this truck, or taken out the turning circle and reduced it like I've done, but who knows whether that will be enough. Maybe the correct amount of turning lock to lock is straight ahead. Who knows? We'll soon see whether it breaks again. But that's my current assessment of the situation. One thing that is 100% out of Isuzu's control is that we've had a remap, which has given us probably 40% more torque. You may have correctly concluded that the remap has contributed to the breakage of this CV, and it may well have, because we have 40% more torque than standard. But our original CV breakage occurred when we had no remap at all. In other words, totally standard Isuzu torque, and it still broke. I don't think that that is a reasonable excuse for this CV, or our last CV, of course, breaking.
Now this is the one that I needed the tool for, that I don't have.
Oh.
And somebody's butchered it already, look at that.
Yeah.
They've used a bloody centre punch,
Wow.
which was my fallback method. Nope. Oh, what the hell?
What is that?
Don't know.
Oh, does it attach from that bit in there?
Oh, it's rusty. It shouldn't be rusty, dirty like that at all. Let's see if they put a new seal. They haven't put it on this side.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's all fine. On the bright side, I get to pack the wheel bearing.
Because they didn't.
Yep, because they didn't. I asked them. Now, I don't really have a soft hammer.
Oh my god.
That'll be that broken.
Wow.
shaft. Okay, that's just smashed to bits. There we go. Rightio, let's order. That is smashed to bits.
That is crazy.
Yep. Sharp as hell. Now I'm gonna have to get it out. Well, the CV's definitely smashed again. And it's the same CV that broke last time, and we were doing the same thing. You'd think I'd learn, but anyway, which is reversing in sand when it's really bogged down with, you know, a bit of steering lock. The same way too.
Yeah,
exactly the same, and it's smashed again.
Yeah.
So we've found Brisbane Burpengary has got the part, and there's one in Cairns too, so there's two in Queensland. And we just got to get it to here now. So we're just walking down the pub to find out how we can get it to here. Peter said he probably can help us out somehow. We just need to work out what address to send it to, and then send it. Might turn up tomorrow hopefully, or the next day. Put it back together and off we go. But lesson learnt, we're definitely getting a second one.
Definitely.
As soon as we get off the island, we're going to order another one. Maybe even before then. But also I'm going to adjust the steering bump stops so it can't steer so hard in that direction, because obviously for some reason it just can't handle it. I don't know what's happening. And they did just check those CVs when they put the Diff Lock in 3 days ago apparently. So we'll see. We'll see how we go.
Yep.
But for now we're walking to the pub to sort it out and to sit down and have a few drinks. And oh, look how nice the water looks.
Oh, it's beautiful.
My gosh.
I think you all would agree he deserves a beer, don't you think?
I think I need a beer. I've still got to clean it. I've still got to get it out. It's stuck in there. Anyway. I got some.
Oh my.
I ordered some spares last time.
Far out.
How lucky.
And that's what you were just saying, that you should have asked him to get.
Yeah, except I still didn't need an oil seal.
Wow, jeez. Well done.
I know, now I am getting smart. Smart for my own britches. Well, I've got to ring him. It's not a smart cookie, I just had it in the wrong spot.
You are a Boy Scout.
Axle shaft shim.
I've just been supervising, that's all I can offer. So, as you can see, this is where we will be until the CV arrives and it's replaced by Karl. So every time I think CV, I think about the CV that I replaced in my poor little Datsun 180B. And I don't think it was that big.
Should leave the leaves in there for the dry.
Look at it. It's a beast of a thing. So that cracked. That's...
No, this has got all stuffed balls and a cage. That's supposed to be like that.
Oh wow, okay. And it's
Smashed
just
a bit.
completely broken off.
Smashed to bits.
Wow. Oh, look at that. Holy heck.
Broken.
Whoa.
Broke the shaft.
Yeah.
Broke the teeth off. Smashed it out. Smashed it to bits.
So, if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe.
Oh, that's sharp.
It'll help support our bad habits of
Bad habits.
breaking things.
Bad CV habits. That's what we got here.
And if you're inclined, you know, drop us a line. Tell us some stuff.
Done.
Have you ever broken your CV
In your truck.
in your truck?
What's wrong with our truck? Maybe it's the driver. No, it wasn't my fault this time.
I don't think it was.
I wasn't doing anything wrong.
Nah. And I recorded the whole thing, so
It's got video evidence.
I know that you didn't.
I was being a good driver.
Yep. Not that there's anyone that, you know, to blame as such.
Yes, there is.
Oh, Isuzu
Bloody
itself.
Isuzu.
Isuzu itself, yeah. But there you go.
Wheat crap.
Broken. Like our bank account.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. If you want a reminder, hit the bell. And remember, we always love a thumbs up. If you'd like to be more involved, check out our Patreon page or our website